Okay, this is an actual real-life news article in The Guardian. You know, usually I say you don't have to read The Guardian, you don't have to watch the BBC. I will do it on your behalf so you don't have to suffer. Well, this time is an exception because I had to suffer through this. You're going to have to suffer with me. I'm kidding. Be patient with me. I'm not going to go through the whole article, just a little bit of it. This is The Guardian being upset that the rural parts of England and Wales is white, and they're all white. And also, this is brilliant, that the headline says, the whitest parts of England and Wales have 144% more local paths. There was a whole study about this. They did a proper research. The Ramblers say poor and ethnically diverse areas miss out on health benefits of public footpaths. Okay, before we actually dig deep into this nonsensical news story by Patrick Barkham, it's obvious that these people have no common sense or basic logic. Rural areas versus urban areas in any parts of the world, in any country, any continent, you can see the difference between the urban areas and rural areas, and there are more, as they say, ethnically diverse people in urban areas. We know that already. So you're going to have a more chaotic situation in urban areas anyway. So they're upset that more local and native people are in the rural areas. What do you expect? It starts by saying the old, white, wealthy and healthy have access to miles more public footpaths in their local neighbourhoods than poor and ethnically diverse communities in England and Wales. Alright, so when they say that, again, they're talking about rural versus urban. This is the most disgusting way of doing stereotype. So, yes, in the rural areas, people actually are living in a healthy, in a much healthier way and freer way. But doing a stereotype of everybody in the rural areas is wealthy is a lie and is an insult to logic. So, yes, there are some wealthy people in rural areas, but not everybody who's in the countryside is wealthy. They're not rich. They're not millionaires. They don't even have the level of access to logistics that people in urban areas have. But they live because they have independence. They have their freedom. You know, they have their car, they have their family, they have their community. They don't need to have Starbucks every 2 seconds. They don't need to have McDonald's every 2 seconds or Uber or this and that. So people in urban areas, the same people the Guardian calls ethnically diverse and poor. The poor in urban areas have more access. I mean, not the actual people in absolute poverty, but we're talking about the lower working classes and those on benefits, for example. They still have access to more facilities and public transport and everything else than people in rural areas. So if those people with little money or on benefits were living in the rural areas, they would suffer more because they wouldn't even have a car. So this whole thing is a complete nonsensical study and a news article. They're all upset because the rural areas are white. The whitest areas enjoy 144% more local footpaths, right, than more ethnically diverse paths. And affluent parts of the country has 80% more local paths. They find this is also interesting, within 10 minutes of a walk area and everything else. So there is also a logical reason for the nice areas in any country having nice things, because people are nice about their nice areas. People appreciate their local communities, so they make an effort to not make a mess, to not go around loot shops, to not go around and stab people, to not go around and steal things, to not go around and throw rubbish everywhere. So for those people who are living in parts of London, for example, or Birmingham, who are creating a mess in those local areas, and then they're talking to these people, The Guardian, saying, I don't know why my local area is an S-hole. I can tell you why. Multiculturalism is a mess. And again, when you bring in a lot of people from the outside of the country who have no appreciation for the values of this country, of course they're not going to care about the local roads, the local pavements and local cars and local shops, because they don't see it as their local spirit. Again, it's a stereotype, but we're talking about mass migration and multiculturalism. There are always exceptions, hopefully, like my mother, who was a political refugee and came here, and she actually really appreciated this country, very grateful, that they allowed her to start fresh in life. But not everybody is like that. And that's the whole issue. When the numbers go up, it's very hard to control, to manage, to vet people. Anyway, enough of this rant. Deprived communities in England and Wales have the least access to public food paths. And then they have this graph as well. Oh, they're so proud of their graphs. Look at it. Someone actually went through an effort to do a research on this story. This is brilliant. This is actually great stuff. Well done, Guardian. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff about different areas, Cardiff Central versus Norwich and all the other parts. Ethnically diverse communities have less access to public footpaths. Yeah, we know exactly why. But yeah, so then there's a map. Brilliant. It's particularly low in Norwich, Liverpool and Southampton. Obvious place, obvious reasons, but yeah. So, and then at the end of the article, The Guardian asks you to pay money. They beg for money as usual, which is fair enough. Everybody has to make some money at some point. Even I do that. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this is not really a serious news story. I thought if I have to suffer reading this article, I'm going to have to take you down with me. I'm going to take you through the journey on a Saturday afternoon to enjoy this chaos of life. Anyway, we're going to have more actual serious news stories on this channel throughout the day. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.